Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Built for the Stage podcast. This is Joe Roscoe, founder and host of Built for the Stage, Broadway's #1 fitness platform. With clients in over 20 Broadway shows, the West End, Tokyo Disney, Australia, collegiate stages across the country, we are your one-stop shop for all things theater and fitness. BuiltForTheStage.com. Check it out. Get yourself a free Broadway fitness program to try out on an interactive fitness app where you'll work one-on-one with none other than myself. BuiltForTheStage.com. Special thanks to our producing team, the Broadway Podcast Network. You can check them out at bpn.fm. All right, let's get on to our special guest. Special guest as always. Coming up just around the river bend, Gypsy will be making its triumphant return, and our guest is going to be a part of it. They will be playing the role of Miss Mazeppa, and prior to that, they were the first Asian American actress to play the role of Mama in Chicago on the Broadway, and we're excited to see her up there once again playing Miss Mazeppa in Gypsy. Please welcome to Built for the Stage podcast, Lili Thomas.
Hi, thanks for having
Hi,
me.
Lili. Thanks so much for being on. It was a pleasure already getting to chat with you a bit before recording. Exciting times. We're just like, can we count this on our fingers, or like how many days away are we from Gypsy opening?
I know it's going by so quickly. We start previews in like mid to late November and open December 19th. So yeah, definitely on its way. A quick train.
Yeah, this is for a couple of my clients that were in The Notebook, and also they're in Moulin Rouge, another one. They're making the transition over to Gypsy. And for me, I don't know, I'm so excited about it. I felt like it was tomorrow, but we actually do have a little bit of time. So
we're working hard building it all from scratch. The cool thing about this production is that it is the first time that, original book writer and director Arthur Lawrence is not a part of the production. And he's so brilliant and left such an incredible book. I know that everybody knows how amazing the book is to this show. And but it is just such a treat to be able to see an incomparable director like George C. Wolfe take this on and bring a fresh vision. So that's a lot of what's happening in this room. And I'm happy that we have this time to flesh these things out. And it's just such a gift to be a part of it.
Yeah, I believe the last time it was revived was like around 2007 or 8. With Patti LuPone, I think. Was that the last?
Yeah, I think that was Patti LuPone. She was the last one. Yeah.
Yeah, I was there. I had my seat, and I saw the last one, and I'm happy to get to see this version as well. So we were chatting a little bit before we hit record about what all is in, I guess, your trumpet case per se when you're prepping for this. You said this was a dream role of yours since being a kid.
How embarrassing, right? I don't know what my mother thinks of that, but
when you mentioned it, I was like, okay, interesting,
My poor parents. Oh yeah, my daughter just dreams of being in burlesque. No, I saw the movie when I was, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7. My uncle was he is a band director, and his high school did the show. Sissy SpaceX kid played Dainty June, and so all of us kids were kind of just completely captivated by listening to the score kind of wrestle through our family. And we didn't really know any better, but we were just hooked by the music. And of course, nothing more to hook me than this like jazzy, brassy, pseudo dance, big, broad, strutty number. And I didn't even know what it was about, but I was like, that's what I want to do. I love that.
Yeah. Okay. So you started playing the trumpet at what age? When did you start playing?
Well, I joined band in 5th grade. So I was like 10. My son is actually in 5th grade and he's 10 and he just started the trumpet. And my father played the trumpet, and his father played the trumpet, and his father played the trumpet. So I come from a long line of male trumpet players. My dad did not have any sons. And so, of course, I had to continue and go into brass. I actually started on the euphonium, which is kind of like a mini tuba, just because I wanted to be different. But it's the same, it's a different octave, same finger patterns, just in bass clef. And then I switched over to trumpet when I started doing actor musician stuff, because it was easier to dance with a trumpet than with a little tuba.
Yeah. Well, look at you with this family lineage of trumpet players. Who would have known?
Yeah. Bunch of brass players.
Now, when you booked this role, or maybe prepping for the auditions, had it been a while since you played? What were you collecting dust on the trumpet, or how did that work out?
No, I did this. I've done a few actor musician musicals. I developed this off-Broadway musical called The Hello Girls with Prospect Theater, and I played the trumpet in that. And we actually just revisited it, and we did it at the Kennedy Center last May, and at the World War I Memorial, which is really cool because they have a bunch of trumpet players and bugle players down there, and they were like, "You got to come back and play taps," and I was just like, "I'm not even really a trumpet player." But I've been lucky enough to, I don't call myself a trumpet player or like a professional musician in terms of the brass, but I have been lucky enough to have these opportunities to weave it into my role and my career as an actor. And for lack of a better word, it really has become kind of a gimmick of mine, where it's not the thing I do, but it's a little bit of a shtick that I do. So I try to bring it into the theater, when appropriate, when I can, and I sometimes seek out these roles where I get to play it because I just love it so much.
Yeah. Okay. So when you hear that, I don't know if it's your agent or whatnot, that Gypsy was coming back, and did your eyes light up immediately and say,
"Oh yeah, there was like there was a big rumor about it before it was confirmed, and everybody was talking about it." And so I texted my agent and I said, like, that's my dream role. And he was like, "Yeah, I mean, it's a rumor for now. I'll let you know." And then of course it came out, and he was like, "Okay, well, we'll see what the breakdown says." Nobody knew kind of which direction this was going to go. And I really had to have my agents advocate to get me in the door and get me seen for this, because I knew that my heart was with this role, and I knew I had something to bring to this role. But I think I'm a little bit of an atypical type for Mazeppa, and so yeah, I definitely, it was a good lesson in believing in the thing that you do, even if it's not the thing other people think that you do.
Yeah. So now that you're in the room with your fellow castmates and just seeing like the very beginnings of all of this, I don't know, give us a little insight as just what that's been like, or any surprises, or what's different that we can expect from this version of Gypsy.
I mean, everything and nothing at the same time. It is exactly that story that the story that you love. These are the characters you know and love. And nothing is being changed and strayed from. But it is a very humanized take. Everybody has their entire heart invested, and that's the beauty of this show, is that really it's Rose and Herbie and Louise and all of the other characters, which there are, like over 40 people in this cast. It's a huge cast, but all the other characters it's sort of a big vaudeville act. You have the kids in the beginning, and then they go away and they're not in the rest of the show. Us strippers, we're at the end. We're not in the rest of the show. Even Tulsa and June, they have their chapter. So it follows like the relationship between this mother and the daughter and Herbie, and all of these vignettes that pop up around them, and sort of like the evolution of one's sense of self and the awareness. All of these different characters have to bring some sort of piece of the puzzle of a show that's really just about heart. I mean, the relationship between this mother and her daughter, as a mother myself, is heartbreaking in every moment. Right when you feel like your heart is about to break, something makes you laugh. Something then makes you cry. Something surprises you. I mean, it's kind of an emotional roller coaster, and so surprising that a show can be so evocative that you already know what's going to happen. You know, everybody knows the show. We all know what's happening. And still, in every moment, I find myself surprised just at how real these themes are, and the difficulties between relationships and confidence and fulfilling one's own dreams and visions. You know, this takes place in what seems like a million years ago and is still absolutely applicable to how life feels today.
Yeah. Okay, I wanted to rewind about like each character having their chapter, and it might be an out of the box question. I don't know. We'll see what you do with it, but having to kind of just be in the wings all that time and then just jumpstart yourself into the show. Maybe you haven't experienced it yet because of rehearsals, and everyone's kind of doing that anyways because you're waiting around and then it's your turn to get up and rehearse your scenes. But how do you plan to successfully just make that grand entrance that Mazeppa always does and be ready kind of from a standstill? It's like you're going 0 to 100 in the matter of a second.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, getting shot out of a cannon, but I feel like that is the essence of Mazeppa. You know, it's like 0 to 100 in 1 second, and she is supposed to almost like catch you off guard, because that's how Rose and Louise and Herbie and the Hollywood Blondes feel when they walk into that theater. You know, they walk into this burlesque house that they think is going to be some kid-friendly vaudeville theater and are jaw dropped. And that is, you know, that's the essence of it. So I'm kind of planning on using that jarring shift to further enhance the effect of the entrance of this new world.
Yeah, I totally agree. I almost feel like they should have a camera from off stage, and you should be maybe taking a shot or something before going onto the stage.
Very Jamie Lloyd of you.
Yeah, I just feel like I would see her just like, well, here's another. Let's go out.
I was thinking, I was like, what am I gonna? I need to, you know, learn another instrument or something, or like pick up some other hobby for Act One. What am I gonna do in there? I get my I bring my whole stack of to be read books and
yeah. But let's rewind to like, you know, you're an actress, a mother, you've been in the game. How have you built this career of longevity from a not just physically but like a mental standpoint for those of us that are maybe listening that are like, I just want to get one show, or I just want to book again? Like, how have you found mentally that you've been able to find your way in each new role that's presented itself, or audition, or just this crazy evolution of what this industry brings?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I took a lot of time off, and I didn't really know if I was ever going to come back to the industry, and I didn't really have a big career before I took time off to be present as a mother. And I think it was living without this. You know, I did this my whole life. I did it growing up. I went to college for it. I did a lot of regional, and then it's sort of like you don't know what you had till it's gone. And kind of going like 6-7 years without performing at all. It made me very aware of the part of my soul that was dormant and that was missing. And I think being able to really acknowledge what that felt like and how disassociated it made me feel as an entire being has kept the drive very present for me, and not a drive in terms of success, but really it's a drive in terms of like just being present as a person and knowing that without doing this, I can't be present as my full self, because I felt what that's like without it. And so when I decided to come back to the industry, it was never, I think before that, it was always like, okay, I need this amount of success to validate myself and to feel like I've made it or I'm doing a good job. Whereas it really became about something much more personal for me, more of a behind the scenes fulfillment, which is really hard to achieve in this business that is all in front of everybody. And, oh, I'm doing this show and this and that. And, that's oftentimes how we've been conditioned to gauge our success. Whereas for me, it was about, oh, I'm having success as someone who's fulfilling being myself, and doing it just for that, I think has been just that little shift of perspective has kept me honest. My kids are incredibly supportive. I am a single mom too. So it is a team effort. It's all a team effort. And my kids are very involved with me and the auditions. Everything starts with the self-tape, and they are here. They are here reading with me. Oh yeah, 100%. It depends. My daughter she's a teenager now, and so her voice is old enough that I can get away with it. I can't have my son reading with me because he still sounds like a little kid, but he'll get there.
Yeah. Oh, well, everything you're saying there kind of encompasses what I like to say about be a person who does theater as opposed to a theater person, because when you're the theater person, it's all or nothing. My life depends on this, and it has this stranglehold on you. Whereas if you're just the person who does theater, like you were describing, you have the outside perspective of other things in life and things that can keep your feet on the ground. So when you walk into the audition room, you're not feeling like, I don't know, the gun's to your head and this is life or death.
And there are also these roles where you have to do that. I know a lot of alphabas who that is an insane thing. And so you do have to change your life and, change your routine through the day when you're not at the theater. A lot of your day goes into conditioning for a role like that. I did Evan Hansen, our Evans, they have to reshape the way that their daily life looks in order to get their bodies in the place to do the performance that they're asking of them. I know that at this point in my life with 2 school-aged kids, as a single mom, 2 dogs, that's not really what's realistic for me. And so I think also finding the roles that give me that much fulfillment, like Mazeppa, Mama Morton. That's another role that is, when she's on stage, what a great track. She's some amazing songs, some really commanding scene work, but it's not one of those roles that is going to completely wear you out where, today I'm going to go to my daughter's soccer game. And those are the kinds of things I want to still be able to do. So I think there's a balance with all of it. And it's also about saying, this is what's right for me in my life right now. And saying, oh, I have the space and the capacity for something that is a little bit more, that demands a little bit more.
Right. Yeah, that's another great point of what you're talking about now is with theater, I compare it to athletic seasons. There is an in season and an off season. You were talking about the Alphabas or the Evans. When they're in season, it's a whole different life for sure. But what do you do with that time, or where is your head mentally during the off season? That I think what you were describing is very important, going to the daughter's soccer game or going with friends, or I don't know, having other hobbies that isn't just about your 32 bar cut or something like that,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, Broadway votes on your hat. Before we get off this call, I wanted to chat about that. You obviously voted. This is I've been seeing this on Instagram. This is every 4 years, this organization's around, or was this just for this?
Well, I was just asked to be involved with it this year. I was so honored. I was doing 2 separate events over the past month, and one was in Times Square, a nonpartisan Broadway votes, just encouraging everybody to vote. I think that there are big gaps in the generations of active voters. A lot of it has to do with awareness and just knowing, am I registered? Am I not? And where would I go? And, you know, all of that information that that you are expected to seek out. And so this organization of this hat is really just about getting that information communicated to everybody, to encourage everybody to exercise the right that people fought for. And it's a really important right. And just learning about the numbers of people who don't vote only because they don't have enough information was very motivating to me. Especially in this day of social media, there's so much more accessibility. And so I wanted to hop on the bandwagon of that. And we did a little concert in Times Square in the middle of a complete torrential downpour. People were still there. It was great. And then last week I did the Broadway for Kamala event at Town Hall, which was so exciting and moving and just thrilling in every way.
Amazing. Cool. All right. Well, I just wanted to chat about that. I love the hat. It's good branding by them. I love a good clean black and white look. So we'll be sending you some more gear as well. But hey, Lili, amazing to chat with you. I'm so happy for you and excited for the cast and the whole team at Gypsy. Coming up, you said what, first week of December or late November? What was it?
So we open on December 19th. That's our official opening, but we preview the week before Thanksgiving in November.
Okay, so you're just bringing all the holidays in for us.
Come spend your holidays with us. We got you.
I kind of want to get in the ear of the producing team and see if that was tactfully chosen, if that was intentional or not, but I'm sure it was. Okay, well, everyone listening, if you want to celebrate Thanksgiving or Christmas or any holiday that you're celebrating this year in the theater, then run along to see Gypsy. Thanks again, Lili. Enjoy your daughter's soccer game. And we'll chat again soon.
Great.
Bye. All right, everyone. Lili Thomas going to be Miss Mazeppa in Gypsy. Run to the theater to see that iconic show. Thanks again to Lili. Make sure you follow her on the gram at the Lili Thomas. That's Lili. That's fun to say, actually. Lili Thomas. The Lili Thomas. I'm Joe Roscoe with Built for the Stage. You can check us out, builtforthestage.com. Actors are athletes. Train like one. Later.